So hello, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing extremely well today. So today we will start with a new DP problem, that is the count the repetitions. Okay, so first we will understand what is the problem. We define str equals to s comma n as a str which consists of string s concatenated n times. For example, str equals to abc 3, then we will concatenate abc 3 times, and we define the string s1 can be obtained from s2 if we can remove some characters from s2 such that it becomes s1. For example, if s1 is abc can be obtained from s2 by deleting bdec. Okay, now you are given two strings s1 and s2 and two integers n1 and n2. You have the two strings str1 equals to s1 comma n1 in the above fashion, and the second one is str2 equals to s2 comma n2. So what we have to do, we have to return the maximum integer m such that str equals to str2 comma m can be obtained from str1. So basically what we have, I am telling in the notepad. So basically we have given an if first to understand what is this phenomena, like if str equals to s comma n, then we will write s to the n times. Like if s is abc, then str would be abc and n is 2 abc. Okay, this is the str way. And if you have given two strings s1 and s2 and you have to obtain s1 from s2 by deleting some characters from s2, then you can obtain this s1. Okay, so this is true information that you have given. And what we have to find, we have to find maximum integer m such that str equals to str comma m can be obtained from str1. Okay, so now I will tell, suppose if we have given this, so here we have to develop str by using str2 comma m. Okay, and str2 will build from s1 comma n1. Okay, so here basically we have to build str from s1 by concatenating it to n1 times, like str equals to acb 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 and acb. Okay, this is the str, and we have to obtain this s2 into n2, like str1 equals to s2 comma n2, s2 comma n2 ab and ab. So we have to obtain this str1 in this fashion, how, like we have to obtain str1 comma m from this str. Am I making sense? Then str1 comma m we have to obtain from the str, and we have to maximize this m. Likewise, if we have str in this example ab, so now we have to identify how many times we can find ab from this str. Like you can see, if we delete this all c's, and then we can find ab one time, ab two time. Okay, so we can find this str1 m, means m is 2 time from the str. So we have to basically maximize this m. Okay, so this is the problem. I hope the problem would be clear after this explanation. So now move to the solution part. So in the problem you can basically identify that key from s1 you have to develop a string from which you have to find the resultant string. Okay, so s1 is the string from which you have make operation from which you have to delete the element. Okay, s1 is that string, and from s2 you have to develop the means basically s2 the string which needs answer. Okay, so to need answer we have to first concatenate it, like s2 comma n2 times. Okay, so in this case AB, in this case AB. So here AB we have to find from this how many times. So how can we find that? So suppose if I try to find AB from this str, how str is developed from s1 from s1 comma n1. Okay, so if we try to find how many times this AB would come as a subsequence in the str, like like if I will take this example only, try to raise this. So now if we have to find this s2 from s1, so s1 is, now s1 is will convert into the str, and this would become acb, and acb. We have to find s2 as a subsequence of this. How many times? If we would find this s2 8 times as a subsequence in this str, as a subsequence in the sense ki first we will try to find a, then after that we will try to find a b. So we would find this ab one time, and now next now from a on, from the very starting of this s2, from a we again try to find, then here a would find and here b would find. Now it is 2 times, and now again start from this, and this is 3 times, and now this one is 4 times. So we have found this string s2 in the s1 resultant string 4 times. Okay, now as per the question, if we have to find the answer for this, the answer would be constructed by s2 n2 and str2. This str2 is developed from str2 comma m. So if we found, now this s is made up of str2 comma m. M is the multiple of this. Okay, and this is the multiple of this, is the multiple of this. So if we found s2, if we found s2 n times in the str, then our m would be, maximum m would be n by n2. I think it would be clear from this explanation, because s is constructed from str. Okay, str is constructed from s2. One str would be developed if we add n2 times the s2. Okay, and n2 times the s2, and we have find the n repetitions of s2 in the increasing fashion in the sense I am telling you, one after the another character we are founding n times this s2. Okay, so to construct one str2 we have required n2 occurrence, and total occurrence we have n. So we will divide this n to the n2. Now we will found the value of m. Okay, I hope this explanation would be clear. So basically the problem is only we have to find out number of times this s2 is present in the str1, or say concatenated version of s1 n1 times. Okay, we have to find ab. Now think how can we find this, what would be the brute approach to find this. So let's suppose now problem is only we have a string s1 that is acb, and this is n1 times, and another string is s2 ab. We have to find this ab in s1. Okay, we have to find this ab in s1. The problem is only this. How can we find? The brute approach is coming in my mind. Just if I will have one pointer on this and another pointer on this. When I found the I character in the j, then I will increase the both pointers. If not found, then I will increase this pointer, and when I have reached to the end, then I will increase my counter, answer counter or the CNT counter by 1. So in this way I have to iterate ACB n1 times, and my answer would come. So if the length of is, I have to iterate this ACB n1 times, this if this is written n1 times, again and again I will, just when I reach to the end, this string will goes to the starting and try to find this. So I have to iterate this whole string, because string is the consist of n1 occurrences of this s1. And now let's see the sizes. So we have n1 size is 10 to power 6, n1 is a length, and s1 string size is 100. So this is 100 and n1 is 10 to power 6, so this would create 10 to power 8. And now this is a very brute approach that is first coming in my mind when I was trying to solve this solution. And when I have implemented this, okay, when I have implemented this, getting TLE, you can see here getting TLE on this 48 49. So you can also try this and get the TLE. So now I will now we have to think how can we optimize this. Okay, so to optimize this, we have to think in a fashion like if I am iterating only, basically we have to cover this string, from s1 string. Okay, let's suppose I will try to find up to what portion I have covered in one pass of the s1. If s1 is a c b and s2 is ab, then I will try to find in one pass of s1 how many times what part of this s2 would be covered. Okay, so in this test case we can see in one pass we can obtain this s2 one time and will reach to this point. Okay, and suppose if the string is not s1 string is not this, if sorry, if s1 is not this and s2 is also not this, s1 is like acb ab, and s2 is acb. Okay, acb this, then we will find this in one pass, we will find, and this is ac. Okay, so in one pass we can see we have found a, c and b. Okay, in one pass, basically in one pass I have get this one time, and now I can increase my counter of occurrence, how many times we have get this one, and now try to find from after this index, then we have got reached to this index, and here this index. Okay, so in one pass I have found up to here. Okay, so suppose in one pass I have reached there. Okay, I have reached there. Now I am thinking, so in one pass if I am reached there, okay, so if I would store this key at means in one pass I have reached to position j with passes count, means how many times we have passed, suppose past times, and how many times we have counted this ab, so the count time. So this, if I would store this when I have completed this one pass, then I will store at what index, at the last index, how many passes has been completed and what result we have got up to that pass. Okay, now maybe when this string is concatenated A C B A C. Okay, A C B A C. Okay, so now in one pass we have reached there, and if we would try to move forward, then what would happen? Then we would find B, and this is B. Okay, this is B, and after that we would reach to complete that pass in this string. We will move to A and C. This is A and this is C. So again we would reach at this position J in the second pass. Okay, so you can see, if I am running from starting, in the last pass I have stored the J, this position, with these values, and when I in the next pass, when I have come to this position, then my pass value and count value would be increases eventually. So you can see a loop would occur here. Whenever I would start from this position, then I would reach to again, when I would again to this position, in the passes and counts that is coming would be the difference of the last one and the that one. Okay, so here we have got, like, if earlier I have reached to the pre pass and pre count, and this time I have reached to the pass and count times. So the cycle would be completed in this difference value. Okay, and if I would again start from that J, then again I would reach to the C. So we can optimize this. Or we have to say, we can store the last occurrence and the new occurrence and calculate the difference, and try to find how many more occurrences, more passes are remaining, and try to find in order of one way the whole value that we have achieved here. I will show you in the code how can we get this. So here what we have to do, I have made three variables. Basically this is the count, this is the count s2. Basically counts is calculating passes. Okay, it is for passes, how many passes we have covered. Okay, and this is the for how many times we have got the s2. So, and we have developed a map. I will tell you why. Just to store this value against index j. So, and this is the j variable which is depicting the this h2 iterator. So we will start from G. This is for one pass. Every time we will go in one pass, we would write for one pass. So when s2 equals to s2j equals to s1j, increase the j1, and if the j equals to size, then we would increase the count s2 and make the j equals to 2 and increase the count s also, which is basically this. Because we have increased the counter y1, pass y1. Okay, now if we will store the current j value against the number of passes and number of counts we have achieved. So if this is present already in the map, then do this, we will explain you later. And if it would not present earlier, then we will store against this. Okay, if it is present. Okay, so if it is present, then this index, on that index, this is this one, we have reached earlier. Okay, so at that time we have counts, means passes, we have result this and passes this. Okay, and at current time we have our passes value and result value is stored in the count s2 and counts. Okay, so now we would calculate how much answer is increases up to that point. Okay, so now the answer would be count s2 and the previous answer would be this. And how much passes we have covered? We have covered count s minus previous counts passes. Okay, so in this duration, which duration, if I would concatenate ACB to ACB to ACB. Okay, So in this duration, how many passes we have covered and how many times we have reached, how many answer we have got will store in the increase answer and cover. Okay, so basically we have to do n1 passes and counts we have achieved. So this is the remaining pass. Okay, so now I have already explained, we have got a cycle at this point. When we are reaching every time to the same index, then the cycle would constructed, because we are starting from this and again come to this, then in how many the difference of the passes and answer would be same in the next occurrence also. So just we would divide the uh, remaining passes with the cover. So then we would get the cycle value. Okay, how many cycle we are remaining with. Okay, so we are remaining with the cycle value, and the counts will also increase with the cycle time. So we have cover is the value that is showing how much passes has been covered in one cycle, and we have cycle number of cycle. So the up to the ends, and means when this cycle would complete, then counts passes would be increased, and as similar cycle into increase answer would be increases, uh, would be added in the count s2. So in this fashion we would reach to the, means in the first pass only we would reach, or we would remain only with few passes. Now the passes value would be how much, if basically passed value depend on the cover. If like if this is the string, first, second, third and fourth, first time j would come here, and second time j would come here. Okay, so in this, if this would this would consist of two passes. Now again, now we will try to find out how many cycles of 2 would be present. So 1 2 and 1 2. So we will remain with the remainder passes of this. Okay, so here after first pass only we would remain with the remainder passes. So in this way we would optimize this. We doesn't need to travel again and again the cycle value. Okay, here just we have covered this. Again, if we would reach to this j, then we have to go with the same passes and same value. So we have stored first time this value, and in the next journeys at that point, on standing on that point, we would identify up to what point we would reach. Okay, with this j cycle. So after that, at this point we would remain with the remainder, covers. Okay, so now the same procedure start here. If some value we have stored in map here, so maybe some value stored in map here, maybe in the next pass, in this we have got this, and the cycle of this pass would start here. If we are having some passes which is also included in the remainder of this earlier j, then in this remaining portion we would again find the cycle, and this process ends when the pass would finished, like we have achieved n1 passes. I think the explanation would be clear, and after that we would get the number of times s2 is present in the concatenated s1 n1 times. Okay, so we would get the cn2 s2 divided by n2 as a result. So this would all about this question. If you would try to submit this, then it would definitely submit like my one. Okay.